7 biblical constructions that challenge modern science. Since the beginning, humanity has sought to record its greatness through constructions, pyramids, temples, walls, and cities. They are testimonies to the human desire to eternalize its passage through earth. However, the sacred scriptures recount constructions that go far beyond human understanding, works that not only dazzle the eyes, but also reveal the power, wisdom, and glory of God. Today, we will explore 7 of these constructions that, even in the face of modern technology, continue to challenge engineers, scientists, and archaeologists around the world. They are landmarks of faith that withstand time and testify that when God commands, the impossible becomes real. Before we begin, however, I ask you to like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. 1. Noah's Ark, the engineering of divine obedience. Genesis 6:14. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. You shall make compartments in the ark and cover it inside and out with pitch. In this way, you shall make it 300 cubits long. The length of the ark shall be 50 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Noah lived in a time when humanity had become completely corrupt. Evil, violence, and sin dominated the world. And it is in this scenario that God chooses a man to fulfill an unthinkable mission. Building a gigantic ark on dry land seems capable of withstanding a flood that was still unknown. The dimensions of the ark are impressive, about 135 meters long, 22 meters wide, and 13 meters high. Perfect proportions for stability, according to studies in modern naval engineering. Research conducted by Korean engineers from the Korea Resort Institute has shown that the shape of the ark described in the Bible is the most suitable for withstanding violent waves and maintaining stability on the high seas. How did Noah, without technology, without cranes, without industrial tools, achieve such a feat? The answer lies in obedience and divine inspiration. The project did not come from his mind, but from the Creator himself. The ark is not only a symbol of survival, but also of redemption, prophetically pointing to Christ, the true refuge of humanity. Just as Noah entered the ark and was saved, whoever enters into Christ finds salvation from the condemnation of the world. The Tower of Babel, the construction that defied heaven. Genesis 11:4. And they said, "Let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens, and let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be dispersed over the face of the whole earth." After the flood, Noah's descendants multiplied and decided to join forces to erect a tower that would reach the heavens. It was not just about architecture. It was a symbol of human self-sufficiency and rebellion against God. This tower probably had the shape of a ziggurat, similar to those found in ancient Mesopotamia, with ascending steps made of baked bricks and bitumen. What is impressive is that the biblical description mentions advanced technology for the time: bricks hardened by fire and a type of mortar based on bitumen, the same material used to this day in asphalt and waterproofing. Even so, the work was interrupted not by a natural disaster, but by the confusion of languages. God came down and confused the understanding of men, and the unity that sustained the project was undone. The Tower of Babel represents the limit of science without God. It is a reminder that when man tries to reach heaven by his own hands, his works become ruins. The true path to the heights is not a tower, but the cross of Christ. 3. The Tabernacle of Moses, the heavenly project on earth. Exodus 25:8-9. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them according to all that I show you. This is the pattern of the tabernacle, and the pattern of all its furnishings. This is how you shall make it. In the desert, God commanded Moses to build the tabernacle, a sacred tent, where he would dwell among the people. But what is striking is the precision of the details. Each measurement, each material, each color had a profound spiritual meaning. The tabernacle was divided into three parts: the outer court, the holy place, and the most holy place. In the center rested the Ark of the Covenant, a symbol of the divine presence. The plan of the tabernacle was revealed directly by God, a copy of the heavenly model. Hebrews 8:5. This means that its architecture reflected the spiritual reality of heaven. From a technical point of view, the structure was portable, sturdy, and designed to be easily disassembled and assembled, something that even modern engineers consider complex. The colorful fabrics, bronze columns, silver hooks, and pure gold created a harmony that transcended simple human design. The tabernacle, therefore, is the first divine architecture recorded on earth, a project of worship and intimacy with God. 4. Solomon's Temple, the glory and splendor of divine wisdom. 1 Kings 6:7. And the house was built with stones prepared at the quarries, so that neither hammer, nor axe, nor any iron tool was heard in the house while it was being built. Solomon built the temple in Jerusalem during a period of peace and prosperity. It was one of the greatest works in history, erected with stones cut and polished at the quarries before being transported to the site, so perfectly that they fit together without the sound of tools. The temple was approximately 27 ft long, 9 ft wide, and 13.5 ft high. The entire interior was lined with gold, and the columns before the entrance were adorned with pomegranates and lilies, symbols of life and purity. What is most impressive is the logistics involved. According to 1 Kings 5:15-18, more than 183,000 men worked on the construction, including stonecutters, carpenters, and porters. How could the ancient king coordinate such a large undertaking with such precision without the resources of modern engineering? The answer is in 1 Kings 4:29. God gave Solomon wisdom and very great understanding. Solomon's temple was not just a house of worship, but a reflection of divine glory. It was the spiritual heart of Israel and the symbol of God's presence among men. Today, scholars are trying to digitally reconstruct its model and admit that the symmetry and engineering described are too perfect for the standards of the time. In fact, this wisdom came from above. 5. The walls of Jericho, the fortress that crumbled by the power of God. He shouted, for the people and the priests blew the trumpets. And it came to pass, when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, that they shouted with a great shout, and the wall fell down flat. And the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. Jericho was a city surrounded by walls so thick that chariots could ride on them. Humanly speaking, it was impossible to bring them down. However, God gave a completely illogical strategy: to march silently around the city for 6 days, and on the 7th, to shout. When the people obeyed, the walls simply collapsed. Archaeological excavations carried out in ancient Estulam, the region of Jericho, have discovered walls that actually collapsed outwards, the opposite of what happens in military attacks, where the walls fall inwards. This defies any logical explanation. Like a sound and a shout, they could topple stones weighing tons. The only coherent explanation is the power of God. He showed that victory comes through faith, not strength. The walls of Jericho became an eternal reminder that no obstacle is too great when the people walk under divine guidance. 6. Hezekiah's tunnel and wall, a work of prophetic engineering, 2 Kings 20:20. And as for the rest of the acts of Hezekiah and all his might, and how he made the pool and the conduit and brought water into the city, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah during the siege of the king of Assyria? Hezekiah knew that Jerusalem needed water to withstand it, so he ordered the construction of an underground tunnel connecting the Gihon spring to the pool of Siloam inside the city. Most impressively, 2 groups of workers began excavating from opposite ends and somehow met exactly in the center of the rock. without visible error. This tunnel, approximately 533 meters long, still exists and can be visited. Modern excavations have proven the incredible precision of the work, which would have required highly advanced engineering and geological calculations. There were no compasses, sensors, or lasers. There was only determination and faith. Hezekiah's wall and tunnel are testimonies of a leadership that trusted in God, but also knew how to act wisely. This combination of faith and action is the secret of every lasting victory. Set, the Wailing Wall, the vestige of eternal faithfulness. Nehemiah 17:18, let us rise up and build, and they strengthened their hands for good. Centuries later, after the Babylonian exile, the people of Israel returned to Jerusalem and began to rebuild the city walls under the leadership of Nehemiah. Later, King Herod expanded and strengthened the structures around the temple. What remains from that period is the Western Wall, part of the ancient foundation of the Second Temple. Its giant stones, some weighing over 500 tons, were placed with millimeter precision, without cement or iron, and have stood for over 2,000 years. Modern engineers still wonder how such a feat was possible. Even with earthquakes and wars, the wall stands firm, as if God himself were sustaining it. To this day, millions of people go there to pray. Each stone carries tears, supplications, and promises. It is a reminder that even when everything seems to crumble, God's presence remains unshakable. The Western Wall is more than a monument. It is a silent altar of faith that has survived time and nations. It echoes the words of Psalm 125, verse 1. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be shaken but endures forever. Conclusion. Each of these 7 constructions reveals an aspect of the relationship between man and God. Noah's Ark represents obedience, the Tower of Babel, pride, the tabernacle, worship, Solomon's temple, wisdom, the walls of Jericho, faith, Hezekiah's tunnel, strategy, and the Wailing Wall, perseverance. While science seeks to understand the how, faith reveals the why. These works challenge not only modern engineering but human logic itself, because they were born from a spiritual purpose. They were erected not by mere technique, but by divine inspiration, and remain as eternal reminders that God continues to be the true architect of the universe. For from him and through him and to him are all things. To him be the glory forever. Amen. Romans 11:36.